Welcome to the contemplation. I'd like to begin by inviting you to close your eyes. Make sure you're comfortable where you're sitting or lying. And we're going to start out with just a couple steps to ensure that you're relaxed and in a receptive mode. So if you'd like to take 1 or 2 or 3 slow, deep, and even breaths through the nose, inhaling through the nose and then exhaling through the nose, making sure that the exhale is longer than the inhale. And if you'd like to hold the breath in between, even better. Inhale for maybe 3 or 4 seconds. Hold. And then take your time exhaling. Make sure to exhale completely. Now I'd like you to shift your focus from where it was on the breath to the back of the head. We do this because the very front of the head, behind the forehead, is where, relatively speaking, thinking goes on. It doesn't happen in the back of the head, so shift your focus there, just gently to the back of the head. And while it remains there, know this next statement with the intelligence of the heart. Feel the knowing in your heart of this statement. I am here now. Nothing else matters. I am here now. Nothing else matters. Now, understand here, we are not doing any of this to stop thinking or even diminish it or slow it down. We completely just let it be. Do you know what? All the movement in the universe declares the absolute uniqueness of rest. The ineffable alone is at rest. Peace, power, and rest of our infinite reality is here. Every bit of it perfect, just as it is happening. Because movement and rest do coexist as a spiritual idea, empty of the would-be human promise of struggle and suffering. Who would consume a diet of lies? Not me. Not you. Innocence doesn't suffer. Staying aware as you are aware as you are aware that this life, here now, is God's self-awareness. You continue to be present as this fact. The quote-unquote me falls away. No more personal, only this. No struggle to control what's in awareness, or thinking that you have to hold a concept of truth in awareness, or hold your precious statements close, lest you fall into the abyss of forgetfulness. You could say truth is eternal remembrance, without the capacity to forget itself. Eternal means never not existent. Plain, simple, pure and true. Alive. And in its aliveness, there's a built-in stability, a built-in steadiness, a built-in knowing. Above and beyond forgetting and remembering. For isn't divine mind the keeper of awareness? If we're so caught up in the thoughts about truth, the statements, the study, the earnest yearning to get it right, we miss it. We miss the beauty of the angry one who is just making obvious the forgiveness hidden behind the unforgiving posture, the prejudice behind a temporarily darkened moment. We miss the half smile of one in pain who has seemed to have forgotten who he really is. Or the fool who stands out front, always claiming his superiority, but who is actually revealing the humility of his humble heart for us to see, always for us to see. Isness shines in every form that ever exists. You see, it's not the one talking, it's the one listening. The all hearing. Totality, just being itself, everywhere. Now, what does that look like practically? Starting with the problem, starting with the destruction, the collapsing that seems to be going on, only leads to more chaotic thinking and thus more destruction, confusion, complexity. But starting with awareness, not something finite trying to get to infinity, but just awareness, leaving out the word infinity for the moment. Because to any remnant of egoic thought, that will always seem unobtainable, and thus kick in striving, trying, effort, desperation. Starting with the fact that one is conscious, just the simple fact you're beginning at the end. Because truth has already arrived at itself with all of the ease and peace and confidence that would ever be required. From this unlimited view, you can see what all of the destruction and collapsing was about. The dissolution of what never is. The dissolving of the falsity. The false, personal sense of self. The false sense of life. The imposter. The counterfeit. The imitation. The shadow. Beginning with allness, wholeness, we have the true view, where we can see so clearly that responsibility does not lie, quote, out there, with people, with governments, with systems, with religion, with family, with drugs, medicine. The responsibility is here with you to see as God sees. The 30,000-foot view. To see the whole from wholeness. The all from allness has to be the only way that's true. So the initial action, any initial action, comes from awareness. And from then on, we find ourselves imbued with the intelligence of what to do next, if anything at all. Whatever the scene is that is confronting you right now, be patient and willing to keep your own counsel. For within the you that you are, as awareness, is found the only authority. God's will is already functioning as the singularity of awareness. The I that I am, without anything missing or anything wrong. It is always now. It is always fresh. And it is always the beginning. So be still. And in the silence, you will find your certainty, your movement, and your rest.